Hello! How are you all doing? I am here in New Jersey, visiting my folks for Passover. And of course, when I'm at home, I get put to work, and I'm actually here in my parents' backyard, in the front yard actually, and doing some gardening. And I realized that I'll just take a quick walk around. But one thing I realized while gardening is that Earl Nightingale has this analogy that I like that relates the human mind to soil. And I'm doing some gardening, some yard work for my folks, and so this analogy is kind of appropriate. But his basic idea, his premise, is that the human mind is like fertile soil, and if you plant something, the soil doesn't really care. It'll plant whatever you put in it. It'll plant whatever you desire, whatever you decide to put in this fertile soil. So you can plant corn, or you can plant nightshade, a deadly poison. One thing I noticed while doing some yard work, specifically weeding, is if you don't do anything, and it's just amazing how this analogy works, if you don't tend to the soil, weeds will start to pop up. And you have to tend to these weeds. And these weeds, I feel, are these small, frivolous little things. It's not their annoyances, and they're these little tiny things that are unwanted, but end up creeping into your mind. And as I am going through weeding, through this garden of my parents, I realized, some weeds are pretty small. They look really small on the surface, but they can really dig deep. They can dig extremely deep into the soil, and some of these weeds have massive root structures. And even if you get rid of a lot of it, if that root remains, it can still remain there and regrow. And so you must be extremely proactive in getting rid of some of these weeds. If you haven't heard Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Thing, where he talks about this analogy of the human mind to fertile soil, I have a link in the description. It's really good. It's definitely worth listening to. If you ever go to the gym and you're listening to music or something, when you're just walking on a treadmill for an hour, definitely give it listen to it. It can be some pretty powerful stuff. I think the analogy is extremely powerful. It makes you really appreciate your mind, but also being aware that whatever you want to create, you just have to you gotta plant the seeds for anything to grow in the first place. But if you don't plant seeds, it's not to say that nothing will grow, but rather that weeds will take over. So this is just a thought that I had while doing some gardening, and hopefully I'll catch you guys later with some more information. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.